What's up guys, Wolf here. If you want to make a powerful build, it's more than likely you are looking for a striker build or you've made a striker setup. Today's video is going to be quite special. I'm going to showcase my top 3 striker setups that I use in PvE and PvP. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I will be showcasing my best solo striker build, allowing you to solo legendary missions or any content in the game. And yes, it is efficient to even do the lower difficulties, heroic, whatever, it doesn't matter. It will do everything for you. Then a full DPS build, which is interchangeable. We can actually just swap out the weapon and you can use whatever weapon you want with this build. Full damage, arguably the best damage build in the game. Then the other setup, the third setup, will be a PvP build, which will allow you to melt players in Conflict or the Darkzone, because don't forget, Conflict gives you a lot of experience now, so it's worth it. And if you want to go into Conflict and you use this striker build, you will dominate. So these 3 builds I absolutely recommend. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you do, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Make sure to follow me on X and Twitch. Links will be in the description. Let's get on with the video. Right, let's take a look at my solo striker build. That's the one I'm going to be showcasing to you guys now. I have tweaked it since the last time I posted it. I'm no longer using the striker's chest because I feel like if you're going to be playing anything that's not legendary, you're not going to get the striker stacks up and keep them up. With this version, I feel like it's going to be better. Instead of the Palisade piece, the striker's chest, and a 511 gloves, more armor and kill, I have gone for a Cheska chest piece with Obliterate and Palisade 1 piece that gives me armor on kill, so I can get my crit up, be more efficient with my damage, and also have some armor on kill. I have got just over 250,000 armor on kill with this setup, and we can absolutely mince through any enemies in the game. And even just doing resource convoys or control points, you will find that you will never really drop below like 75% of the striker stacks, and Obliterate will just constantly be up because Obliterate's been buffed in this patch. So I feel like this combination is unbelievable, guys. Any situation, hard difficulty, heroic, legendary, it doesn't matter what difficulty you play, you will still maximize the usage of this build, and not, like, for example, it not use the full striker stacks. With the way I've spec'd into this, it just works incredibly well, and it's well balanced in my opinion from my testing. And this is my go-to solo striker build. This is the one that I use to solo any content in the game. If I'm just farming for Shatek watch levels in the open world, or if I'm playing full-on legendary mission, this is what I go for. Now I have chosen 1.3 million armor to balance well with the armor on kill, gunner specialization for the armor on kill. And what I do is quite simple. I throw a decoy out, I peek corners, and I beam the NPCs. Kill all the more dangerous ones like grenadiers or drone ones in more legendary difficulty. But in other difficulties, you don't even need a shield. You can just constantly shoot, get your armor back. We can get full armor after a few kills with 250,000 armor on kill, and the damage is just next level, and you can just mince your way through the content. It's quite simple to use, and you can use it in any situation. New player, veteran player, this is going to be a great setup for you. So this is going to have the St. Elmo's engine, and I do like this gun. I have got damage to targets out of cover rolled on it. You can have whatever assault rifle you want. You can even use an SMG. Just keep in mind with your crit chance, don't overdo it. Don't go over 60%. To put like a Grupo chest on if that's the case. But with this setup, like I said, 1.3 million armor, you can go for less, you can go for more blues or reds. It really just depends on what you want out of the setup. But I recommend going for the striker 4 piece as I have got it here, which is going to be the full-on set with the striker's bag, because the bag is important to increase the efficiency of striker. Don't use Memento. I see people using Memento in a solo build. You can go for that. You can go for like a Ninja Bike hybrid. The striker's bag gives more than double the damage of Memento. Don't go for that. I recommend utilizing the striker's bag. It is just a must if you're going to be using striker, even in a solo build. We don't need regen. We don't need healing. The armor on kill is more than enough. Try it. It works. The 4 piece, quite simple. I've got crit damage and crit chance rolled on here. Don't copy what I've got because it depends on what weapon you're using. Check your crit chance yourself. I've got crit damage rolled there, and I've got crit damage here. Every single modification on this build is crit damage. Very simple. Take a look at your stats, guys. Don't go over 60% and don't go below 54%, especially using Obliterate. So 57.2 with 159% critical hit damage with 252,000 armor on kill. Very strong. Then the Cheska chest piece, quite simple. Crit damage, crit chance with a crit damage mod, and obliterate. That's why we need to crit to get the stacks up 25%, and it lasts a lot longer than it used to. Very, very powerful. And the crit chance gets boosted up 10%, is very efficient. So make sure you use this. You don't have to. You can go for Grupo. You can go for even a Fenris if you just want the baseline weapon damage. But I recommend using a Cheska. Then the Palisade for the armor on kill. This is just the way we can survive. It's so strong. Make sure you give this a go. And the combination of this and Gunner is just exactly what you need. And I've got crit chance and crit damage rolled on that piece. Decoy, duration, health, and shield. Now, the shield is not necessary. You don't have to use it. Defender drone is quite strong, but I like to use a shield just to give me a little bit more survivability, especially playing in more difficult missions. And if you get hounded by multiple enemies, you could die pretty quick. So I recommend it. Tier 3. It's not the most overpowered, but more blues would mean you get a higher skill tier for your shield. That is on you. But that's the build, guys. Let me know what you think. The secondary is going to be the lefty to proc the talent and also just to get it stacked up in the orbit for more crit damage. That's the setup. Let's move on to build number 2. This is going to be my full damage build. If I want to put as much damage as I can on, this is the setup that I'm going to use. For raids, missions, open world, whatever, this is the, in my opinion, the best full damage build you can use in the game right now. Very easy to make, very efficient, and very effective. And I'm sure most of you guys have this build in your loadouts. This is going to be a Striker 4-piece with the backpack, Cheska Obliterate chest, full crit with the Coyote's mask. And if your teammates have got the Coyote's mask on and you don't need it, go for like a Grupo mask. That would be ideal. You can use, with the setup, any weapon you want. Ouroboros, SMGs, LMGs, whatever. Like I mentioned before, just make sure your crit chance hasn't been overdone, or if you're lacking the crit chance, try boost it up a bit through the attributes or through modifications. But the Cheska will help you in that regard. So, same again, I've got Gunner, but I actually wouldn't really recommend that in a group because I normally play in a group with the setup, like Countdown especially. If you want to go full DPS in Countdown, this is going to be great. So make sure you guys give this, give the Gunner a try. But you could probably use other specializations to help your team a bit more. It depends on the situation. You might have to keep changing it, but that's up to you, and that depends what you're doing. Then it's going to be quite the same thing as the previous one. I'm going to be using the St. Elmo's engine, which has got damage to targets out of cover, shock enemies. It's just too good. The modifications are so strong. You can use whatever weapon you want. Like I said, it's up to you. Then I've got the lefty and orbit pistol. I'm not going to even go through much of it, guys. Same thing. I've got crit damage and crit chance rolled in all the pieces. Just make sure you don't go less than 54%. Quite simple. Cheska chest, same as the previous one. And the mask, which gives us a lot of crit damage. Don't focus on the second part of this and think, oh, I can have 50% or 40 something percent crit chance and the distance is going to give me that extra crit I need. Don't be reliant on that. Make sure you have got at least 54, especially for Obliterate, because we need to stack it. So every mod is going to be crit damage. The chest, Obliterate, such a good talent, so strong right now, arguably the best. And then the backpack. Easy, simple build to make. Same decoy shield. You can use Reviver Hive. That probably would be better. This absolutely melts when stacked up. In Countdown, we can hit over 3 million damage a shot with the multipliers and the buffs. It's just ridiculous. You can melt. I recommend using this. It is an absolute beast of a build and it's very popular. Before we move on to the PvP setup, I just want to talk about this full DPS build. You can actually transfer this into a PvP version. So my striker damage build that I use for PvP is the same setup, except instead of having all red like the previous one, because you obviously want full DPS, I've got blues as well. And this is a very effective build. I have actually posted this before. So that's what I would recommend doing if you wanted to take the full damage striker build into PvP. Let's take a look at my best striker PvP build. Now obviously the striker damage is good, but nothing beats the Ouroboros Ooga Booga close range beast that is a striker Ouroboros build with Obliterate. Is just ridiculous. I know it's the same talent, but trust me, the talent is just too good. It lasts too long and it gives you so much damage. This is going to be, I actually would say, when you've stacked this up, it's impossible for you to be killed unless someone's using the same build and they're also stacked up. It beats Umbra, it beats everything. The damage is just too high and we can get it stacked so effectively with this setup. It's just, with this weapon, should I say, it's crazy. And in PvP, go for all blues. Don't even have one red. You don't even need it. I would recommend going for all blues and obliterate with a Sokolov chest piece for that juicy SMG damage. Then Picara's holster for that more baseline weapon damage. So we're not just relying on crits. We get an increase in weapon damage, which is nice. So that is simple, guys. Once again, all blues here with a striker's backpack, crit damage on everything. Most of the rolls, because we're using an SMG that comes with crit chance, are going to be critical hit damage. So just keep that in mind. And then the mods, all crit damage. Just have a look at your crit chance. It's that simple. Ouroboros with damage 2 targets out of cover. It's a melting machine with the lefty and the orbit. You can use whatever secondary you want. Normally, I would actually use an assault rifle because we don't need to stack it with the shotgun. So I would recommend an LMG or an assault rifle. The ones I normally go for is the Black Market RPK-74E with damage to armor and flatline or Optimist or something like that. And then the other weapon that I could recommend to you guys is the FAMAS with Optimist or Fast Hands. Very, very powerful. If someone's a bit further away from you, you can melt them. So in that case, if you are going to be swapping guns and you want to be using an AR just as much as the Ouroboros, then you probably not want to go for that. You can probably go for Grupo on the chest or a Cheska once again. So this is what I recommend. I know the pieces are very similar, but honestly, I didn't want to just post this to say, hey guys, look, I've made new setups that are fun to play with, but not very powerful. These are I need to get down to business. I need to work. I need to get the result I want. These are the ones I put on for the hard work, and these get the results. So this setup is when I'm struggling and I need to do close damage. Now I have got hazard protection, 1 attribute rolled here because I didn't need the crit chance. Therefore, Has Pro kind of makes sense. And we've also got on the watch. I use scanner pulse, decoy, quite simple, guys. Full armor, firewall specialization. Make sure you use that because of the strong armor kit. 59% crit chance, 124 crit damage, loads of striker damage. It is an absolute melting machine. You can destroy agents if you get this stacked up. So let me know what you guys think of the 3 striker setups I showcased today. Those are my favorite builds. Those are the most powerful in my opinion for me, and I'm sure you guys will love them. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Peace out.